Hey guys, Sebastian here. I'm a tour guide in Athens. Here's my Instagram page in case you want to hire me. And I repeat, my name is Sebastian, because most people who recognize me in the street go like, oh, hey, the YouTuber guy. So, Sebastian. All right, so today's video is going to be split into 3 parts. Mykonos' best restaurants, the best place for street food in Mykonos, and finally some traditional Mykonian dishes you can only find in Mykonos. So let's start with the best restaurants. I have 5 for you. First, there's Nikos Taverna in Mykonos town. It's the oldest restaurant on the island, very traditional, and the location is very cute. If you're looking for great food plus great location at the same time, this is where I would go. Because in Mykonos, like many other places, either you have a great location or you have great food, but it's rarely both. Nikos Taverna is an exception to that rule. They have all sorts of dishes, meat, fish, pasta, vegetarian meals, but if you feel adventurous, then you should get the sea urchins as an appetizer. Sea urchins are a pretty popular delicacy on Greek islands, but they're getting harder and harder to find because tourists don't order them, and so restaurants just remove it from their menu. But at Nikos Taverna, they still have it. Oh, and one last reason to go to Nikos Taverna is that Peter the Pelican, which is Mykonos' mascot, is often around since the restaurant feeds him with fresh fish, so he keeps coming back. Really cute. All right, next we have Tomaerio, also in Mykonos town, but you eat inside, so there's no view. This one is only open for dinner, not lunch, and it's a little more gourmet. So if you're at that point of your trip where you've eaten too much of the same Greek stuff and you want something a little different, this is it. My favorite there is the beef steak with Parmesan cream sauce. Super tasty. Tomaerio is one of the highest rated restaurants on Google and TripAdvisor, not only because of the quality of the food, but also because their prices are very reasonable for Mykonos standards, around 30 euros per person. Now, if you don't mind spending a bit more than that and you want to go for a romantic fine dining dinner at some point, then I would go to Meeting, also in Mykonos town. They don't have a Michelin star yet, but it's exactly the type of meals you would get in a Michelin rated restaurant. Look at this beauty, and it's delicious as well. This one also only opens at 7 p.m, so dinner only. Now, what if you want the iconic Mykonos view in this part of town called Little Venice? Well, there's tons of restaurants there, obviously, but the one with the most reasonable prices is nice and easy. Fantastic view, but of course, if you go there, it's mostly for the view. Don't expect to be blown away by the food. They serve Greek traditional food, and you should expect prices ranging from 30 to 40 euros. Now, all 4 restaurants I mentioned so far were in Mykonos town, and that's normal. That's where everything is at. As soon as you leave Mykonos town, there's not much going on apart from beaches. But in case you've watched my video on what to do in Mykonos, very important, you know Mykonos has one other town called Anomera, and that's where locals go to eat. The restaurant I recommend there is Oti Apomine. It's a mezzadopolio, so a place where you order multiple small portions that you share with your friends. And what I highly recommend there is the Gournopoula, which is a roasted piglet. Super soft, and the skin is the crunchiest thing ever because they blast it with insane heat just before serving it. Gournopoula, delicious stuff. Now, some people will tell you that Kiki's Tavern is the absolute must-do restaurant in Mykonos, and it's true that the food is impeccable and the view is amazing, but they have fallen victim of their own success, and nowadays, whatever time of the day you go, you'll have like 1 to 2 hours waiting time, and they don't take any reservations. So, I don't know. If you want to go, but I feel like there's enough other great restaurants on the island where you don't have to wait for so long. And speaking of reservations, it's important to know that in Mykonos, it's common for restaurants not to take any. No reservations. I'm not sure why, because in Santorini you can definitely book a table. Maybe it's due to the fact that there's less restaurants in Mykonos, and so the demand is higher. But yeah, take into consideration that you might have to wait a bit before you get a table anywhere you go. Or you can be extra smart and go to the restaurant 20 minutes before sunset, because this one everyone is at Little Venice taking all the famous pictures, and the second the sun has set, these thousands of people are invading the town to go and find a table. So if you've already seen enough sunsets in Greece, definitely do that. It will save you a lot of time. And that's for dinner, of course. For lunch, there's hardly any waiting time anywhere, since most people are either on the beach or on the day trip to Delos Island, which I highly recommend in case you haven't watched that video yet. All right, let's talk about street food now. You will hear many people, mostly Greeks, actually say that one pita wrap in Mykonos is like 25 euros instead of the 3 euros in Athens. That is not true. That is a big myth. It is true if you order that pita wrap on Paradise Beach, the most iconic and upscale beach of Mykonos, but you know, everything costs like 10 times the price there. If you walk around Mykonos town, you will find tons of street food places with wraps around 5 or 6 euros. Now, sure, it's not the 3 euros of Athens, but I think 5 euros is decent enough. And so yeah, this is a huge pro tip I just gave you. Write it down. Get your pita wraps in Mykonos town, not at the beach bars. Now, where exactly in Mykonos town? Well, there's one in pretty much every alley, since Mykonos is much more street food oriented than Santorini. Santorini is a romantic island, so it's much more about elegant, fine dining places, while Mykonos is more about like taking it easy, spending your day on the beach, and so street food matches that vibe much better. So way more street food in Mykonos. Sakis is one of the oldest gyros places on the island, and it's my personal favorite. You grab your wrap and then you go and sit down right here on the left, which is a church actually, but everyone is using it as a spot to sit down to eat their wrap. I really like this place. So that was for the pita wraps. Now let's talk about bakeries. Gerasimos Bakery is my absolute favorite, especially for their mushroom pie, chicken pie, and sweet pumpkin pie. And then another bakery I love is Gyros. Super old place, very charming, and they have seating. So if you're looking for a spot in Mykonos town to have breakfast, this is perfect. All right, now let's talk about the traditional Mykonian foods, stuff you can only find in Mykonos. First, there's louza, which are cold cuts of pork tenderloin seasoned with oregano. Then there's the Mykonian sausage, which is also pork, very meaty and spicy stuff. So that's for people who like strong meaty flavors. Then there's the Mykonian kopanisti, which is one of the only blue cheeses you'll find in Greece. I know it doesn't look blue, but the taste is definitely something like the French Roquefort. It's very strong. Next, there's the mostra, which is a barley rusk topped with this kopanisti cheese we just talked about, some slices of tomato, and lots of olive oil. It's similar to the dakos that you will find in Crete and in Athens, but with this Mykonian blue cheese instead of feta. Now, the four things I just mentioned, so the louza, Mykonian sausage, kopanisti, and mostra, are all to be found at the Tomaerio restaurant, which I mentioned at the start of this video. So if my description of these four products made you hungry, you know where to find them. Another very traditional Mykonos delicatessen is the Mykonian pie, which is stuffed with slow-cooked onions and cheese. Very unique and very tasty. You can find this one at Nikos Taverna. Next, I have two desserts for you, traditional from the Cycladic Islands area. Meletinia, which are sweet cheese-filled pastries with a crispy shell, and amygdalota, which are crispy almond cookies. You can find Meletinia at Gyros Bakery, and regarding the amygdalota, Meeting Restaurant, the fine dining place I spoke of earlier, has revisited this dessert, making it a bit more sophisticated, and I was shocked how delicious this was. So if you're going to Meeting, make sure to order the amygdalota for dessert. All right, for Mykonos' best hotels by the beach, you can watch this video. And for the best hotels in Mykonos town is this one. And there you go. That's it for today. Hope you liked it. See you in the next one. Bye.